I remember the exact moment everything inside me shifted. My fiancée looked at me with a straight face, placed her hand on her growing belly, and said she wanted to name our baby after her ex. Not a family name. Not a sentimental memory. Her ex. My first reaction was to laugh, thinking she was joking. But she didn't crack a smile. She just kept tracing circles on her stomach like this was the most precious idea she had ever come up with. I guess I should start from the beginning. Her name is Emily. We met 3 years ago at a friend's barbecue. She spilled lemonade on me, apologized 1,000 times, and then somehow made me feel like I should be the one apologizing. She was charming, funny, and she had this spark in her eyes that made me want to know everything about her. We talked all night, and by the time the sky turned pink, I knew I was done for. Our relationship wasn't perfect, but it felt real. We had our fights, sure, but we always came back together. When she found out she was pregnant, I dropped to my knees and hugged her, already picturing a tiny face that looked like both of us. We got engaged not long after. Life felt solid. Good. Normal. But then little things started bothering me. She became protective over her phone. She would turn it face down when messages popped up. Some nights she'd step outside to get fresh air, but she'd stay out there for long, quiet minutes, talking softly on the phone. When I asked who she was talking to, she'd shrug and say, "Just a friend catching up." I wanted to trust her. I tried so hard. One night while brushing her hair, she sighed and said, "I just want our child to have a strong name. Something meaningful." "That's fair," I replied. She looked at me through the mirror. "What do you think about Lucas?" It was a normal name. I nodded. "Sounds nice." She smiled a little too much. "It's perfect. For him." The next day, I noticed her phone light up while she was showering. The lock screen showed a text, "Lucas, can't wait to meet him." My stomach dropped. I told myself it could be a coincidence. Lucas is a common name, right? Maybe a cousin. Maybe a co-worker. I held on to excuses like a pathetic man hanging from a fraying rope. She walked out of the bathroom singing softly and kissed me like nothing was wrong. I remember thinking, please don't let this be what I think it is. But days passed, and tension grew. She brought up the name Lucas constantly. She said it while shopping for baby clothes, while setting up the crib, while rubbing her belly in the middle of the night. Finally, I asked, "Why are you so attached to that name?" She froze. Then she forced a smile. "I just like it." "Why are you acting weird?" I stared at her. "Who is Lucas?" Her eyes flinched. "Just barely. But I caught it." "He's just someone I used to know," she said too quickly. My heart was racing. "Your ex?" She didn't answer, and that silence was louder than any word she could have spoken. That night while she slept, I dug deeper. I wasn't proud, but I needed the truth. I found a photo in her old email. Her and a guy with his arm around her. The caption, "Forever yours, Lucas." The anger boiling in me was unlike anything I had ever felt. I confronted her the next morning. "Is the baby even mine?" She burst into tears instantly. That reaction didn't comfort me. It made my fear worse. She kept saying, "Of course he's yours," but her voice shook. Her eyes darted everywhere. She refused a paternity test. That was all I needed. I found Lucas online. It wasn't hard. He still lived in the same city. And he was married. Yes, married. I sat in my car outside his house for 20 minutes before I got the courage to knock. My hand was trembling as I rehearsed the words. "Congratulations on becoming a father." Lucas opened the door looking confused. I asked if we could talk. When I explained who I was, his face drained of color. He invited me inside and shut the door quickly, like he didn't want the world to hear. "I haven't talked to Emily in over a year," he said. "We broke up long before she got engaged to you." I studied his expression. He looked angry, betrayed, like someone who just found out a secret he didn't ask for. I told him about the texts, about the name, about the message saying he couldn't wait to meet him. Lucas swallowed hard. "That wasn't me," he said quietly. "My wife has access to my phone sometimes, but..." I didn't send anything. I swear. Before either of us could process anything more, his wife walked in from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel. She looked between us. What's going on? He hesitated. But I didn't. I wanted the truth in the open. Your husband might be the father of my fiancée's baby, I said. Her eyes went wide, and anger flashed across her face. You have got to be kidding me. Lucas tried to explain, but she was already pacing. I knew something felt off when you were so protective of your phone lately, she snapped. Then she turned to me, voice trembling but strong. If he's the father, I want proof. But if he isn't, and she's lying to both of you, then someone needs to hold her accountable. That woman had a fire in her. Lucas and I exchanged a look. He agreed to a paternity test. We both needed answers. When I told Emily what I had done, she screamed at me like I was the villain. She called me insecure, jealous, controlling. She said I was ruining everything. But I was already ruined. Weeks later, the results came in. 0% chance the baby was Lucas's. I should have felt relief. But all I felt was emptiness. Because after everything, after all the lies and secrecy, I realized something painful. If she had been faithful, she would never have kept him a secret. She would never have wanted his name on our child. She would never have messaged him. She would never have treated me like a backup plan. I walked away from the relationship. I told her I'd be there for the baby, but I couldn't marry someone who had someone else's ghost in her heart. Sometimes betrayal isn't physical. Sometimes it's the way they cling to someone who left them behind. Sometimes the real heartbreak is knowing you were never enough to erase their past. And that is a pain I'll never forget.